The most revealing thing about Novak Djokovic heading into Wimbledon 2026 is not whether he can win it, it's that he stopped arguing with his own body in public and started building his entire season around one 2-week window. That's the story nobody in the mainstream tennis media is framing correctly. Skeptics will say he's 39, he's ranked 4. He just lost in the third round of Roland Garros to a teenager. Why build a thesis around him at all? Fair, but this isn't narrative. This is what the data from his last 12 months actually shows, and grass changes the equation more than people admit. Here's the system that made Djokovic the most dominant player of his generation. Deep return position. Elite movement that turns defense into neutral, then neutral into offense. A baseline game built to extend rallies until the opponent's first unforced error arrives. The kill zone has always been the long rally 9+ shots, where his court coverage outlasts almost anyone. One condition has to be true for this to work. His legs have to recover fast enough, match to match, to keep resetting that defense. That's the hinge. Everything else is downstream of that, not hypothetically, not in an exhibition. At Roland Garros 2026, third round, against 19-year-old João Fonseca, Djokovic needed 5 sets to survive a player ranked outside the top 20. The match that should have been routine became a 5-set survival test. That's not bad luck. That's the hinge failing in real time, against the exact player profile, young, flat, fast, that's becoming the new normal on tour. So here's the tactical crack. Specifically, when a returner stands inside the baseline and takes Djokovic's second serve early, on the rise, cross-court to his backhand, before he set his base, the rally length collapses from 9+ shots to 3 or 4. That's the kill zone disappearing before it forms. It's not about hitting harder, it's about stealing the time Djokovic's reset depends on. Coaches don't call this aggression, they call it time theft. This mirrors what happened to Roger Federer in the years before his 2017 Australian Open run. Younger players who shortened points and attacked his backhand on the rise pushed him towards semi-final exits until he restructured his game around a more aggressive backhand and a shortened season. Within 1 year, he beat the exact generation that had been exposing him, on a surface that rewarded the new version of his game. And here's what nobody is connecting yet. Djokovic has quietly started standing further back on second serve returns in 2026, conceding a step of court position to buy himself an extra half-second of recovery time between points. It looks passive. It isn't. It's a conservation mechanism, the same kind aging veterans in every sport use to manage a finite tank across 2 weeks instead of one match. The psychological layer matters here too. After his Wimbledon semi-final loss to Sinner in 2025, Djokovic didn't deflect. He said the wear and tear of the body was hitting him like never before. That's not a man in denial. That's a man recalibrating, publicly accepting the physical reality so the tactical adjustments don't look like surrender. Acceptance, here, is strategy. Now, here's the honest case against this thesis. Best of 5 against Sinner or Alcaraz remains Djokovic's hardest math. He's lost 3 straight semifinals or finals to that pair across the last 4 majors. And a teenager just took him to 5 sets on clay. If his legs go in a quarterfinal against either of them, none of the tactical adjustments matter. But here's why I still hold the position. Grass shortens rallies for everyone, reduces the physical toll of 5-setters by roughly a set's worth of running compared to clay. And Djokovic's return, even diminished, remains historically elite on this surface specifically. Now let's zoom out. This isn't just a Djokovic story. It's the story of how the Sinner-Alcaraz era handles its first real test from outside their rivalry. João Fonseca is the leading edge of a wave of teenagers built to play exactly the style that now troubles Djokovic and increasingly troubles everyone over 30. Wimbledon 2026 is the first major where that wave meets the surface least suited to it. Now imagine this scenario. Quarterfinals, center court, Djokovic against a big server he's never faced in a major 3 sets in, score tight, heat building. He's conserved energy through 6 rounds using the deep return tactic. The opponent starts taking time away exactly like Fonseca did. This becomes the match that decides whether 2026 is one last run or the year it finally caught up to him. Let's talk numbers. Djokovic reached the Australian Open final in January 2026, his deepest slam result of the season. He then lost in the third round of Roland Garros, his earliest slam exit since 2018. He's currently ranked world number 4, his lowest ranking in over a decade. Compare that trajectory to Federer entering 2017, a quarterfinal or earlier slump for 18 months, followed by a surface-specific peak. These are not random fluctuations. These are the fingerprints of a player entering a surface specialization phase, narrowing focus to maximize one remaining window. So here's my prediction, and I'm being specific. Novak Djokovic reaches at least the semi-finals of Wimbledon 2026. Not a feeling. Documented call, datable to the tournament's conclusion in mid-July. If he's bounced before the quarterfinals, this thesis is wrong, and that's a fair outcome to hold me to. So go back to that opening idea, the one about him stopping the argument with his own body. Every adjustment we just walked through, the deeper return position, the public acceptance, the surface-specific focus, they're not the moves of a man chasing one more trophy blindly. They're the moves of a man who's done the math and picked the one court on the one surface where the numbers still work in his favor. And if Wimbledon 2026 becomes the moment that math pays off, remember where you heard it first. Because we don't chase narratives here. We build them from the ground up.